And welcome to the celebrated nightly news of Calaveras County. My name is John.
And I'm Kim.
And we thank you for stopping by, and I have to arrange my wife's computer there
because...
because...
with the props.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't like my whole self showing. I kind of like it right
so you want the computer to intrude.
It intrudes with the way I don't want my... Never mind.
So you can hide?
Yeah, I can hide behind my computer.
Yeah, okay, all right.
You know, I'm a little shy. I know you never believe that.
You're shy?
I'm modest.
Oh, okay. All right. We thank you for stopping by on a Wednesday night.
Thank you.
It is Hump Day.
Yes, happy Hump Day.
Happy Hump Day. Now, it has been kind of an interesting day.
Yes, it has. There's not a whole lot of
news. Well,
it's
been kind of quiet because I think there's a lot of people just kind of waiting. Well, if the biggest story in the county is still Board of Supervisors, the closed session, that nobody really knows what the closed session is about. We do know that they met again this evening at 5 p.m. There has been no official release yet, and we're obviously not going to speculate or anything like that. Okay. But that's where that is.
All right. And so there has also been really no fires, no accidents, which is good, which is actually good news.
And it's been like 2 weeks since we had any real CHP reports,
nothing.
Which is a good thing.
So there's not a whole lot of stuff for us to talk about.
Well, it's been
we try to talk about happy thoughts, like fun stuff to do.
So tonight's going to be happy. I know tomorrow night is our weekend entertainment edition, but we're going to have all kinds of happy stuff. Are you going to talk about the Bear Valley Music Festival?
I wasn't going to yet. I was going to talk about the City of Angels camp is looking for a new planning commissioner.
Yes, they are.
This could be you. You could be sitting in this meeting. We have a picture here of last night's meeting. You could be in this picture.
You could be in that picture,
The position offers the opportunity to shape the future of our community. The City of Angels is accepting applications for planning commissioner. Residents of Angels Camp wishing to apply for planning commissioner may pick up an overview of the position and an appointment form at the City of Angels office.
And it is lucrative and high paying.
Yes.
You get paid $50.
Okay, per meeting.
You get a $50 a month stipend.
When you do it, the people who do it
means
really
want to care about their community.
They do care about their community. Exactly.
So
the Calaveras Sliders are going to the Nationals.
Isn't this cool?
Yes, it is
That is cool. Congratulations.
Calaveras Sliders 14 and under girls softball team has qualified for the ASA National Softball Tournament in Salem, Oregon from July 28th through August 3rd. And they need help getting there. They're asking our community for help. Please help us get there. We will represent the Greater San Joaquin Softball Association that includes San Joaquin, Calaveras, Tuolumne, Stanislaus, and Amador counties. Donations are desperately needed and greatly appreciated. For more information, please call 786-2293.
And they're also having a benefit, aren't they?
I don't see anything about a benefit. Do you?
No, I can't pull it up on my machine right now, but they were also having a fundraiser benefit on the 17th.
Yes, that's this weekend.
So we will post that information on our site later if you want to see that. But they were also having a benefit dinner.
17th or 18th? Maybe it's the 18th.
Maybe.
Let me see here. I don't see it on my calendar. We'll talk about that tomorrow evening for our weekend.
And if it's not on the calendar, it must not exist, right?
Yeah. Well, we try to stay up with that calendar. Also, if you ever have events you'd like to submit, since it's just the two of us and we have Hannah helping out, it's hard to keep up with that calendar. It's hard to keep all those events current.
You can
submit them yourselves. We do have to approve them to make sure they are G-rated events that you're submitting, right?
Right.
But feel free to submit away. We would love if you would submit away.
We don't want them if they're not G-rated?
No, they have to be G-rated events.
Okay.
Yes, they do. So there was a small fire today, a small 1-acre vegetation fire at Railroad Flat and Associated Office Road in Wilseyville. It was quickly contained. It was very small in size and slow in spread. Congratulations, Cal Fire.
I'm feeling that reaching middle age, I'm spreading rapidly, but it has nothing to do with fire.
No.
Anyway, we digress. All right, a little bit of fun. Oh, you want to do that one?
Yeah, we received a nice letter today that she asked us to post from Mrs. McCullough. She is the mother of Matthew McCullough. He is the Avery Middle School student that was diagnosed with a brain tumor the first part of this year. I think it was right around April or so.
Yeah, I guess so.
He's now on therapy. They were able to remove the tumor. It was malignant. He's now on heavy doses of therapy, but the problem is he's lost a significant amount of weight. So his energy level hasn't been that great during the treatments. And she sent us a letter that she asked us to post. It's basically a heartfelt thank you to our community, which she sent. If you'd like to read that letter, we have it on the pinetree.net.
Yeah.
Very nice, just thanking everybody for their support. And it's amazing how much our community has come together and how much they do come together for people in our
Yes,
community.
they do.
I mean, the fundraiser for the Ella Fritzes on Sunday went very well, from what I heard. That was the couple that were injured on the motorcycle accident
yeah.
a few months back. It's just amazing how the community comes together when there are people in need.
And I spoke with Mrs. McCullough today, and he's having a tough time right now because they're looking at his weight, because the last time he's holding at about 63 pounds.
He's 11? 11. He's
so.
Ranger's age,
Yeah.
I think.
About 63 pounds. I asked if he was gaining weight, and that's the tough thing, because they started his last round of chemo, and he just couldn't sustain. He had every reaction to it, so basically they let him stop on it. He's been home resting for a few weeks, and I believe they go back next week for another try at it.
He was on a feeding tube. Is he still on that?
I didn't ask.
He was on the feeding tube. The last update I see is on June 18th, and he was still on the feeding tube about 18 hours a day. So
Yeah.
I try to get that weight back. And boy, that little boy is a trooper. We saw him at his fundraiser, and the one they had in Arnold a few weeks back, and they stepped up to bat for Matt, and he was out playing with the kids, and he's just an amazingly strong little boy.
It's gut wrenching to see, though. It's just like, oh.
Every time I see that mom, I just feel for her. So.
But they do say thank you.
Yes,
because,
thank you.
Because we can only imagine how much worse it would be if nobody cared.
But everybody
right?
does care. It's
Yeah.
very, very obvious. Yes.
On to fun stuff. And, you may not have known it for the last few weeks with everything that's been going on in county government stuff and everything. But we like to be happy news.
Yes, we do. We like to report on happy
We
news.
like happy news. All right.
People have always said we're the fluff journalists, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't felt very fluffy lately.
Haven't.
Have you?
No, we haven't.
Yes, we haven't.
We just write fluff pieces.
Yes, we haven't been very fluffy lately.
No.
All right. Well, if you're ever up in Bear Valley and have the chance to pick up this little publication, it's a lot of fun.
It is.
It is the Love. It is. You can tell it's really an offshoot of Care, and by the publisher. And he's been doing it for Eric Jung. Eric Jung's been doing it for many, many years. There's all kinds of stuff in here, fun stuff.
Talks about all the stuff that's going on up in the Bear Valley area.
And
things
this
that you
one's
wouldn't know
full
about.
of.
You see, they have a scoping session coming up again.
You want to talk about that?
I don't know about it.
Okay,
yet.
there's the two.
I
If
saw
you're
it somewhere.
following the progress in the Bear Valley area, there's two different pieces. There's the track that is the Forest Service has the purview over, and that's going to be improvements at the hill and also the village lift, because a lot of that traverses over Forest Service property. Okay. We filmed and taped a scoping session, I believe it was in April, on that process also, and they're having another one the first part of August. I believe it's August 2nd.
Now, have they actually made some progress on it? Do they have the EIR?
Okay,
done
that's
yet?
the scoping session.
Okay. I get confused with all that stuff.
And I believe it's EAR or something like that for Forest.
EAR?
Yeah, it's something like that. All right. Then there is the EIR.
Okay.
Now, the draft EIR is for the village, and that was for the village delayed. And this is a little thing from, and here we go. Alpine County Planning Director Brian Peters announced that the draft environmental impact report for the development of the Bear Valley Village is taking longer. He says the EIR team is working out some details regarding traffic impacts on the Highway 4 corridor west of Bear Valley, and these impacts are in Calaveras County. It is anticipated this will take about a month. I'm hesitant to give an expected release date for the draft, however, it may be late August or early September and is subject to change. The county staff and the county's EIR consultant are working hard to complete the document as soon as possible to begin the public review process.
Okay.
A public comment period of 45 days will follow the released draft of the EIR. A public meeting will be held in Bear Valley during the public comment period on the draft EIR. This meeting will take place on Saturday morning. A date to be determined. Concurrent with the release of the draft EIR, the Planning Department will send notices to all Bear Valley property owners and others on the mailing list who have requested such notice. The notice will include information on the public meeting, where copies of the draft EIR can be reviewed, how to obtain a personal copy, and also submit comments. So that's coming up. So the progress And you'll notice that they have the first wave of condominiums up there from the Silver Mountain. Those are for sale. So there we go.
Beautiful new condominiums.
And also, this is the photo that we were going to ask Terry Woodruff for that we didn't get.
Yes,
here we
should
go.
have asked her for it.
This one is kind of fun.
Her and Arnold.
Yes, there's
And
a
Marita's
picture
in the
of
background.
Arnie, Supervisor District 3 Calavera Supervisor Marita Calloway is in the background. And here is Supervisor Terry Woodrow from Bear Valley. And no, you're not going to be able to see this on camera, I know. But right there, Terry shaking his hand, and there's Arnold. They're shaking Arnold's hand. It's a very nice
She
moment.
looks very starstruck a little bit.
Yes, she does. Very starstruck. And their comments, I asked us, how's he look in person and stuff? And he says, he was a little shorter than I had anticipated. He does seem fit,
He
though.
seems like a very big... She said he had nice muscles for his age, right?
He did. He carried himself well.
Yes.
So
And
all
what else?
those hard-hitting news angles on that, right?
Things that were important,
Yes, he carried himself well. He still seemed, and the only sad thing is there were some comments on the dye job a little bit. But other than that, I think they were... But other than those issues, I think they were still very, very impressed with the governor.
Oh
right?
my gosh. Yes, I didn't know if you were actually going to mention that.
Well, I guess maybe we should.
Hopefully he's not watching. If he's watching...
Here's the World Wide Web. And Arnold,
Right.
if you're watching, I'm sorry, no disrespect meant. Last time I saw you personally was in a gym in Santa Monica in
This is
probably
when John
19...
used to have the muscles.
I don't know about that.
No, you did.
Probably probably 80...
It was before we met. You were when you
84.
were fit, real fit.
I don't know about that. But that was so... Last time and he would have no clue who I am, because I just happened to be in the gym when he was in there working out.
Just in case he's watching,
Yeah, just in case.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
just in case. So, because he's very well preserved for his age.
Yes, he is.
And I doubt I will look as...
Well, if you work out like you used to, you might. Both of us.
I think we better move on to that subject.
Alrighty. Let's get off that
Bear
subject.
Valley Music Festival.
Coming up July 26th through August 10th. Opening night is a tribute to Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons.
Are you going to break into song?
Appearing at 7 p.m. I don't know about that. Maybe. You might have to.
Oh, what a night.
Yes. And then Wednesday... Actually, that's going to be a good show. Wednesday, July 30th is the Best of Broadway Pops with Robin Fisher and David Gagnon at 7 p.m. Thursday night, which I've heard is very good, 31st, the Country Line Trio. They have County Line. I think it's actually Country Line, isn't it?
I think it's County Line.
Oh, County Line, back by popular demand, appearing at 7 p.m. Friday, August 1st, yesterday, a tribute to the Beatles, appearing at 7 p.m. Saturday, August 2nd, the Bear Valley Orchestra, with America's Favorite Music, appearing at 6 p.m. The August 3rd is the orchestra, and then music with a Latin flair. We actually have the full schedule on the pinetree.net. If you just click the link, the Bear Valley Music Festival link.
It'll take you right there.
And they have their, I was going to talk a little bit about their camp, but I don't have information open on that. I'll talk more about that tomorrow.
Okay.
The music camp that they put on every year, which is such a wonderful thing that they do.
It is.
Now, you actually had a chance to speak with somebody today, didn't you? Doing something important for Murphy's Homecoming this weekend.
Oh, I did.
How could you forget one of our most favorite viewers?
We talked to Mary Boblett today, who is a Parks and Rec Commissioner
for District
3. Yes. Committee. And she was talking about the things the Parks and Rec Committee is doing, and also previewing some of the things for the Murphy's Homecoming.
They're going to have weekend, the rubber ducky races.
They're going to have rubber ducky races. They're going to have chess. They're going to have bingo. They're going to have Lords of the Rings.
Yes, hula hoop.
Hula hoops?
Yes. All kinds of stuff for the kids to do. Now, this is the first year they're not doing a parade.
Oh, they're not doing the parade?
I don't think so. I haven't heard. I don't believe
There's no promenade?
There's. I know what they're doing differently this year is Friday night and Saturday.
Yeah.
So Friday night they're having events, I think, in the park.
Okay.
And then Saturday is all the rubber ducky races and brought food and all that fun stuff. The hula hoop and the chess and all this.
So go on out and you too can race a rubber duck.
Yes, it's actually fun. The kids really enjoy it. It's very fun. They really do. So.
And they're also going to be having a dedication of a playground equipment.
Yes, they are. The new playground equipment.
Very nice. About $20,000 worth of stuff going to be dedicated today. And this just shows you how small communities really care and volunteers care, because $20,000 will be spent on just keeping the kids cool.
Exactly.
Because they don't want that playground equipment being hot.
Exactly. Isn't that nice?
It is.
Isn't that nice? I think that's very nice.
You don't want the little kids go.
Exactly. Oh,
"Mommy,
that is
Mommy."
a beautiful park. They have that creek that you can swim in.
Yes.
I won't, but the kids love to swim in. It's actually a very family-friendly, beautiful park setting.
And if you're not too familiar with all the areas in Calaveras County, or if you are, that's one of those spots there in Murphy's with the park and the picnic. It's really kind of a slice of Americana.
Yes, it is.
It's one of those things that really does look like out of a picture postcard.
It is. You're absolutely correct on that, John.
Yeah.
I would have to agree.
And the only thing marring the postcard today was me sitting in it. That for somehow there was it kind of you see this serene park-like setting, and then there's me.
Okay.
And that just didn't.
We have a new article from Ken Churches on how summer sun can be used to kill weeds and soil pests. I love this article.
There you
I love
go.
them. Take advantage of the summer sunlight to help reduce weeds, disease, and pests in your soil with a process called solarization. All you need is some thin, transparent plastic sheeting, some sunny days, and a little patience. For the process can take 8 to 10 weeks. During June through August, the sunlight is powerful enough to solarize soil.
So if you put me under plastic in the backyard, I'd disappear after.
Might be, yeah.
I might. After a few weeks, I'd
Solarization is
disappear.
like the cleansing process that
Okay.
takes place in a compost pile. There
There
you
you
go.
go.
So I can cleanse you. I can stick you out in the sun
Put out me
and
underneath the
cleanse
sun.
you in a compost pile. All right. So thank you,
Yes.
Ken, for sending us that article. Again, tonight is kind of a light news night. There's we haven't heard on what happened during the closed session for the Board of
Yes.
Supervisors that started at 5 p.m. today. CCWD met this morning.
And
What else is there to talk
one
about,
of the things
John?
we wanted to talk about is for Friday nights
Oh.
this coming fall.
Blackberry and Charlie.
Friday nights this coming fall, and all the way through basketball season stuff. We know maybe break for a few weeks in between.
So something
Is
kind of fun
we
that
will
we're
be
doing.
doing a live broadcast of the game of the week. It will either be a Calaveras or Bret Hart game.
Now we did this a lot. We've been doing this for about 2 years.
Yeah, I mean we've done it in bits and pieces, but never a full schedule.
Well, no, we broadcast every home game last year.
Every home game, yes.
Yes, every
But
home game and the year
now
before,
through the
live
magic,
broadcasts.
now through the magic of the internet, we're going to
Yes.
try to bring you at least one game a week, whether it
yes.
be
live. No,
whether
this is
it-
live.
live.
We'll of course have video of other games
later. Yeah,
but this is actually going to come to you live, right? Which is a lot of work to do from a laptop, isn't
and
it?
we may actually do on some nights if we can get the crew and the staff, and we actually do more than one game.
Wow, wouldn't that be cool?
Could be even 2 games live, so you can just go back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Go, oh, how are they doing? Oh, they're a little behind. Okay, we'll go to the other game. Then go back and
I
forth.
wonder if any of our viewers would be interested in helping us with that, with videographing games. So if you
They
ever have
might.
videos that you take of games, football games, basketball games, baseball
Send them
games,
on.
please feel free to send them. We would love to put them up
Would
for
love
you.
to. Or
Give-
if
even give you
also
the credit.
Also, if you're interested in doing things like play-by-play,
Yes,
or
anything like that. We're always
would
looking
you
for
like
help.
to have a career in broadcast journalism? Because if you can tell it from watching this broadcast, if we would have had
You're very professional.
training in broadcast journalism before we started this, your job watching would be much easier,
Yes,
right?
yes. We would love to hear from you. We're always looking for helpers. It's just the two of us.
Yes.
And Hannah. So, always looking for help. We're just getting so big and expanding. We need help, right? We can't keep up with everything.
We just need help in more
Yes,
ways
we
than
do.
one, right? Anyway,
Something
also,
fun coming up tomorrow evening
yeah,
is the Discover Calaveras Black Bear Style.
there you go.
Discover Calaveras this Thursday evening, July 17th. And July 17th, the next stop on the Discover Calaveras Bed and Breakfast and I'm sorry, I can't even talk.
Hysterical.
Historic Hotels Tour is the Arnold Black Bear Inn in the beautiful alpine town of Arnold. The fun begins at 5:30 p.m. and tours of the inn begin at 6 p.m. Enjoy refreshments and socializing as you learn more about this wonderful place in Calaveras County. It is free and open to all.
And also remember, coming up on July 26th will be the National
Yes.
Day of the American Cowboy.
Yes.
And the Chamber of Commerce will be throwing a party for the cowboy.
Yes. Well,
Out of
there going
Frogtown.
to be a lot of cowboys there?
Well, they're also, and this is, I guess, kind of G-rated. They're also going to have cutest cowgirl contest.
Okay.
And also the best Wrangler contest.
Oh, okay.
So
Now, whose idea was that for the boys?
I don't know, but they're gonna be judging the cutest cowgirl and then the best set of wranglers.
Okay.
So they're gonna have all kinds of fun stuff. A great band. You're gonna be able to bring your own brand and brand a fence.
Okay, very cool.
So, see, this was back before tattoos were really cool.
It was
It used to be
yes.
branding.
Yes.
Right?
We
Only
brand
just
each other,
cows,
right?
not
people.
brand each other. Oh, that's
Why don't you brand my initials right
oh, that's a little hard. And can I do a cattle story?
Sure.
All right. And I know you may not realize this watching the news, but I did grow up on a cattle ranch. And I did spend many a summer branding. Now, before we got our electric cattle iron, branding iron, we did it the old-fashioned way. We literally had a fire, like a charcoal briquette fire with our brand sitting in it.
Okay.
Now, typical on like Holsteins and stuff like that, if you brand them on short hair, it wasn't that big a deal. You know, the cows don't like it. You got nose tongs and stuff. They go, ah! But, you brand them, it smokes and doesn't smell very well. If you ever smelled burning hair, it's not a good thing. You go, tss. All right. But we had a breed they were called Scottish Highlanders.
Okay.
And they were a breed from Scotland, and because they were in a colder climate, they had longer hair.
Okay.
Right?
Oh, okay.
And the problem is if you're branding that breed, they caught on fire. So, if you're branding them, you had to have water or something, or pat it out.
Fire extinguisher right there.
Because they would you'd be branding them, and all of a sudden, in this hair, it's like the blow dry, and it's really, and the cows were embarrassed because it's not a good look. They'd have an unsightly spot they'd have to grow back. They'd be walking around the field going, hope nobody notices, hope nobody notices my burn spot, but that happens. And so, yeah. So you basically, the electric ones are a little...
Yeah, John was actually, how old were you when you started helping your father on the farm? You were young.
Oh, probably like 6.
And yeah, he expects our son to be the same. He used to get paid, a penny a thistle.
Penny a thistle, to cut thistles.
To go out and pick thistles.
Yes.
He was expected to work on that farm.
Yes.
Unlike our children are expected to do anything, right?
Anyway, so that's the thing. If you're ever branding, and I know maybe not a ton of people in the audience are branding, just remember, it's better to use an electric branding iron, but if you got to use the old iron ones, and if you have a long-haired breed, be careful. Because they
Carry fire
because they can catch on fire. And then everybody's embarrassed. If you're branding them, you're embarrassed that they caught on fire. Like, oh man, I can't believe I did that. The cow's embarrassed because they're like, oh great, I got burn spots. So it's not something. So just remember. All right.
Okay. Now your parents had a brand, didn't they?
Yes, the Bar JR brand.
Yes,
that was
they had their own brand.
Yeah. So. Very
cool.
Yeah. So
actually,
if you're branding, remember brand electrically. Mm-hmm. And what's the TV commercial where the guy from New York City is just writing on there? Oh, he's spray painting them.
Yes.
Like it's graffiti. Doesn't work. All right.
There are still tickets left for the George Thorogood and the Destroyers, along with Buddy Guy and Charlie Musselwhite. Coming to Ironstone on July 27th. Get your tickets now. There are still good seats available. You can go online to, I believe ironstone.com.
There's a link
Takes
there.
you right to Ticketmaster. Yep. We have a link right on our site that will take you to Ticketmaster. There are still some good seats left for that. So, then coming up on August 3rd is Chris Isaacs, right?
Chris Isaac, the local native.
It's August 17th, the Steve Miller Band. Friday, September 5th. Well, it's going too fast for me. I can't. It's one of those flash banners.
Oh, you got to be quick.
Yeah, I got to be quick.
Yeah, you got to be quick.
So there are still seats. I actually saw them last year. They were very good.
Can I touch a little bit on national news? And we're doing this to save people time.
Yes,
we don't want you to have to go anyplace else.
We want you just to come to us for everything.
All right, the rundown. Let's see. The Fed's crisis management spurs questions of overreach as far as all the banking stuff and how they're doing on that. Let's see. Apple climbed into third spot in the U.S. PC market.
Okay.
So there we go. Probably behind Dell and HP.
All right.
Member of the Manson family was denied release on parole because they're
Okay.
terminally ill, but still they felt with the severity of the
okay.
crimes that they should not be released. Let's see.
What's that? Is that art? Did you see that above there?
What?
What side are you on right now?
This is Google News.
Look at that, Calaveras. Did you see that?
It pulls. See, that's what if
Okay, I was like, how did Calaveras County News get
what she's
get
commenting on. You're like, if you're being left out of the picture here, is lots of times on a site like ours, if it's a news site, they'll pull
Well, we can get lots of stuff pulled
articles
in. Yeah.
into what is called Google News, and this is a separate index
Okay.
just for news. It's kind of like the AP Wire, and yes, several of our articles, usually several a day, get pulled
Yes.
into Google News,
Google crawls our site. How often?
like every 30 minutes.
Every 30 minutes.
Yeah. And it's sometimes it's a little eerie because you'll post a story
And then it's
you
out
go
for
back
a few
in and edit.
minutes.
Then you post a
You
story.
can't
and
edit it if you have a typo or
yeah,
something.
you hit enter and it's already in Google's index.
Yeah,
It's
darn
like,
it. That's
oh,
embarrassing. Almost as embarrassing as the cows, right? If you have a typo or something.
all right. Looks
Which
like
John does a lot.
Looks like Bloomberg is looking to buy a 20% stake in Merrill Lynch. eBay profits are up.
Great.
McCain is addressing the NAACP convention. And Evans, just when the race was getting interesting at the Tour de France, another doping scandal erupted. The 11th stage victory Wednesday by Norwegian veteran Kurt Iles Arvidsson took a backseat to the arrest of to a Spanish rider. Danaeus caught with
The name
banned
we knew.
substance.
That's a different last name than the one we know.
Yep. So there we go. And if you're looking a little bit in international news, it's just more stuff.
Anything,
All right.
anything interesting catch your eye there on Drudge or anything like that?
I didn't pull
The
that one up.
Drudge.
I was going mainstream. I was looking at
Right.
purely Google News.
All right. So you were just kind of going right down the middle. You weren't doing
Right down the middle.
weren't going to Drudge.
That's it.
Well, actually, Drudge doesn't have an opinion. He just puts raw content up
People
there, doesn't
think he does, though.
But he doesn't.
Because
He links to everybody else's stories, so he doesn't have an opinion.
that's true, but he definitely influences the conversation.
Okay. All right. There you go. What's weather looking like? Hot?
Weather.
It's hot in here. I know that. Are you hot?
It is a little
I'm
warm.
having hot flashes or something.
It's
Woo!
just because you're sitting next to me. No, that's not it. You
I
don't
think
think
it's time
so?
to go to weather, John. Look what time
It is. We have like 30 seconds
Okay,
left.
it's
so
going to
we're-
be hot. All right, that's all I have to say.
It will
Hot.
be warm.
Between 90 and 100, right?
Well, it's going to be over,
Yes.
right?
What's
All
going
right,
to be over?
here we go. Uh-oh. We're
It's just going to be hot. That's all we know. Hot.
here we go. Let's see. We got 15 seconds for weather. All right. Bear Valley, top of the hill. Highs of mid 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And sliding on down the hill, you got the old red
There it
marks,
is.
and you're looking at
There
99,
it
101,
is.
99,
See,
a
hot.
couple degrees hotter down the hill.
Basically
So,
hot.
anyway, we thank you very much for stopping by, and we'll see you back here tomorrow night.
Yes, we'll see you
Good
tomorrow.
night.
Thank you.